Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So I'm doing another whiskey and cigar pairing. There's no theme to this particular one, but this is one that I've been looking forward to. I've been kind of keeping this cigar, aging it for a little bit, and the whiskey is another Irish that's kind of following from the last video. Um, but two very nice examples of the portfolio of these two brands, and I'll explain that in just a second. But starting with the whiskey, one of my favorite streets in London is St James's, and for any of you that know London, St James's is where you'll find the Davidoff cigar shop. You'll find JJ Fox cigars, and at the very bottom of St James's, on the corner of St James's and Pall Mall, occupying quite a large, square footage, is a wine merchant called Berry Brothers and Rudd. Now, Berry Brothers and Rudd started in 1698, initially as a coffee shop during the coffee boom in London. It started off as a coffee shop, and then it became a wine merchant in the late 18th century. It's always occupied the same premises. It's grown and it's expanded since the initial coffee shop. And and I believe that the story is they have never closed. They've been open every single day since 1698, with the exception of one day during the Blitz, during the Second World War, when an unexploded bomb was being removed from the property next door. But it's an absolutely beautiful building. If you get the chance to visit London, I highly recommend a visit to Berry Brothers and Rudd. And right across the street from St James's Palace on Pall Mall. And anybody from the States, if you are visiting, especially if you're from Texas, if you go to the Pall Mall side of the store, there's a small alleyway right next door, and you'll see a small little bronze plaque on the wall inside the alleyway, showing that in that property was the original embassy of the Republic of Texas before Texas joined the United States. So it's right next door, just a fantastic, historical hidden gem in London. But Berry Brothers and Rudd, they carry a wide range of wines and spirits from all over the world, and they've curated their own portfolio of spirits. So on my last visit there, I picked up the Berry and Brothers single malt Irish whiskey. Now, they have a few different Irish whiskies with different age statements. This one has no age statement, and it's part of their classic range, what they call their classic range. So there's no age statement. It's bottled at 44.2%, and it's made distilled by the Great Northern Distillery in Dundalk, Ireland. I don't believe it's been colored. I don't know if they have that caramel coloring in this. It doesn't appear to be. It's very, very clear, very light. And so again, 44.2% volume alcohol, which is 88.4% proof. So, and I believe I paid, this wasn't on my last trip. This was a couple of trips ago. I believe then I paid £40 for this bottle. So give or take 35 US, 40, about 80, 90 Canadian. Am I doing that right? Something like that. So £40. So a great deal, a great price indeed for this bottle of whiskey. And so I've had a couple of drams already, but I'm just doing a quick, using some previous tasting notes, just another quick sampling. And I've added nothing to this. There's no water, there's no ice to this, and I've let this breathe actually for about 30 minutes. When I shot the last video with the Proper 12 Conor McGregor's whiskey, I initially got hit with a massive burst of alcohol, which after a little while gradually diminished. So I let this one kind of breathe first to oxidize just a little bit. So on the nose, you get a little bit of alcohol punch, but initially and immediately you're getting some real creaminess and some toffee there, and fruit. You're getting citrusy. You're getting apples in this. Very, very fresh. Very, very fresh indeed. So on the palate, again, very, very smooth, silky. I'm getting that fresh fruit. And then on the finish, it's really mellowing out. It's really settling into being very creamy. A little spicy. There's a bit of pepper there. A little bit of oak, not too much. I'm assuming it's I don't know much about Irish whiskey, how it's distilled or produced. I'm not sure where what type of barrels they're using. But the finish doesn't linger for too long. Yeah, that's again, like the Conor McGregor Proper 12, not very complex, smooth, very, very easy drinking. Yeah, this is a good one. So again, Berry Brothers and Rudd, the single malt Irish whiskey. One more little quick dram. Not too bad. To go along with the Berry Brothers and Rudd Irish whiskey, I'm enjoying a Perdomo 30th anniversary. Now, I'm a huge fan of Perdomo. Initially, I mean, I was a fan even before I smoked my first Perdomo cigar because of the content Nick Perdomo is putting out. And what I love about this brand and what Nick Perdomo is doing is he's really giving back to the cigar community. He does a lot of instructional videos. He talks, obviously he's extremely passionate about his craft, and he put out a lot of great videos. So when I got the opportunity to actually start acquiring them, they immediately became one of my favorite cigar brands. Everything about them is right. I've never had a badly rolled Perdomo. The flavors have always been there. Incredibly consistent cigars. But the 30th anniversary, this is a 6x54 Toro size, box pressed sun grown. And it uses a 15-year-old bourbon barrel aged Cuban seed Nicaraguan wrapper with Cuban and Nicaraguan binders and fillers. So it's all Nicaraguan, Cuban seed. You know, this stick itself, I think it's about 4 years old now, and it's really mellowed nicely. Initially, the first, you know, I've had a few puffs already, very smooth. And again, you know, complementing the Irish whiskey, very creamy. You're getting a little spice in this, not too much. I would say this is very much you know, a medium-bodied cigar, so great for any time of the day. It doesn't overpower the whiskey. The whiskey is not overpowering the cigar, so it's a great blend. In terms of price, I believe I'm where I do get. So I get my Perdomo in the States. Of course, you can see it has a label on it. Canadian cigars don't have the beautiful labels that the cigar manufacturers put on them. They cover them with these hideous green government labels. So I do pick them up in the States. I use an online cigar shop, Thompson Cigars, and what I generally do is have them shipped to a UPS type store in the town just across the border here. And then I take a long weekend. We'll go to the States for a long weekend, and I'm then allowed to bring back for myself. I bring 50, then 50 for my wife. So I bring back 100 at a time, and that's when I pick up my Perdomo. I really don't see these too much in Canada, so I can't give you a Canadian price. But in terms of what I'm paying, I believe retail, I picked some up on my last trip to Florida, actually, and I think they were around $10, $12 each. Where I'm buying them, the online store I'm buying them from, I'm getting them for about $5, $6 each, maybe. So again, if this is available in Canada, I'm guesstimating this will be about $35, $40. So you know, picking it up for $5, even and $12 retail in the States is a great price. So how's it shaping? Still very smooth, very mellow. And it's a great smoke coming off of this. I'm running low on Perdomos, so hopefully I'll be making another trip across the border soon. But I've been saving this to enjoy with a nice whiskey. You know, it's been a great week. If you've been following my health and wellness videos, you know, it's been a great week, and I'm kind of celebrating a week of very, you know, hitting the gym, kayaking, eating well. So I don't buy into the concept that cigar smoking is bad. It's a personal choice I'm making. In fact, this does wonders for my soul. And I'm sure, you know, brothers and sisters of the leaf, you'll know what I'm saying. But anyhow, so yeah, just wrapping this up because I want to kick back and enjoy these. The Berry Brothers and Rudd Irish whiskey. I think you can buy this. There are some outlets in the States where you can pick this up. Berry Brothers and Rudd Irish whiskey with a Perdomo 30th anniversary. Fantastic, fantastic blend. I'm going to sit back for the next hour and a half or so, catch up on some reading, finish this great stick. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this quick video. If you haven't already, I'd appreciate you subscribing to the channel to stay tuned on what pairings I'm enjoying, and hitting the bell notification so you get updated when I release another video. But until the next video, take care of yourselves, enjoy your cigars, enjoy your fine beverages, whatever it is, and I'll see you on the next one.